Welcome to Columbia International College, the largest private boarding high school in Canada and home of the total care education system. I am Diana Reed, Columbia's very proud principal. Over the next hour, it will be my pleasure to have a conversation with three of our amazing alumni. I hope that hearing from them about their experiences and journey at Columbia International College will help you to choose the best school for your child. Here at CIC, our total care system works together to deliver peace of mind to parents and foster student success. The classroom experience at CIC is enriched by students' active participation and teachers' availability to provide academic support after school hours. Tutoring is also available for any of those students who need extra support, as well as those who want to achieve at the next level with their studies. We believe that growth and character development happen when we expose our students to a variety of extracurricular activities. Student life at CIC is intense, with lots of opportunities for students to get involved in sports, leadership development, community service, teacher-led clubs, STEM, debate clubs, Model United Nations, the Duke of Ed, music, and so much more. CIC residences are a home away from home for all students that live there. Residence house parents are always available to support students. A comfortable room, a safe environment with facilities designed to promote peer connections through the use of common areas like our gyms, weight rooms, study halls, lounges, and of course, our swimming pool. Our Residence Leaders program allow our current students to welcome our new students and help them adjust to their new home and their new school. There are always fun events at our residences like gardening, cooking, movie nights, and more. We value parents' participation and we promote timely communication between student, school, and parents. Our incredible admissions and liaison staff have dedicated time to communicate with families and connect both students and parents to the different resources inside our school, oftentimes in the parent's first language. Parents can always access our Easy Report to see their child's progress, teacher comments, attendance, partial marks, and other important information. Over the last 42 years, CIC graduates have been accepted to top universities around the world. Here in Ontario, our partner universities like the University of Toronto and McMaster and other universities know just how prepared our graduates are and how well they do in their university programs. And that is why they want more of our graduates. Our close relationship with universities allows our grads to access exclusive scholarships and special admission benefits with our partner institutions. CIC's University Placement Office supports students with university applications, requirements like IELTS, personal statements, and supplementary applications. They have one-on-one meetings as well as group meetings to ensure that our students have strong post-secondary applications and the best chance of reaching their dream universities or colleges here in Canada, in the US, the UK, and all over the world. Here with me today, answering some questions about their experience as students, are Yeva Vodopianova. Hi, Yeva. Yeva graduated from Columbia International College in May 2021 and will attend the University of Toronto, taking the International Relations program. Her goal is to obtain a bachelor's degree in Arts and Science at the University of Toronto St. George campus. Originally from Ukraine, Yeva enjoyed student life at CIC. She was a member of the student council and leadership teams. She was part of our dance and cheerleading varsity team. She completed the bronze level Duke of Edinburgh program and was a member of the Model United Nations Club, was recognized with the most outstanding delegate certificate at the last conference, chosen to be the Secretary General of the Global Summit Model United Nations 2021, organized by CIC students in partnership with Tecnologico de Monterrey in Mexico. We also have Justin Ma. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Mrs. Reed.
Justin also graduated from CIC in 2021 and came to Canada from Hong Kong. He will start his Humanities, Social Science, and Business program this September at the University of Toronto, Mississauga. Justin also received admissions and scholarship offers from other universities like York, Carleton, and Brock. Justin was a part of CIC's leadership prefect team and enjoyed many extracurricular activities here at CIC. We also have Arama Brew. Hi, Arama, who I get to see every morning with that same smile. Arama graduated from CIC in May 2013 and attended McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. She graduated proudly from McMaster University in June 2017 with an honors bachelor's degree in arts. She currently works at our wonderful institution here at Columbia International College, and we couldn't be more lucky. She works as an admissions officer in our visa department. She is originally from Ghana, but has remained here in Canada after graduating from university to further her career in arts and the communications field. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to start asking questions to each of our panelists so that you can learn more about Columbia International College from our three alumni's amazing perspective. I'll start with Yeva. Yeva, what did you appreciate most about CIC during your time there? And how has your perspective on that changed now that you have a little bit of distance from our school? Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Diana Reid. Thank you. Thank you for the question. What I really appreciated when I studied was the people I met there. At CAC, they were unique, they were bright, and they are. They were grasping and interesting. Those people who I've met, we had many situations together. You know, we shared our emotions together with friends, shared different moments of our lives, and most importantly, always found a way out of these situations, right? So, and now when I graduated from the school and in general, looking back, I realized that I'm very grateful for not only for the people who I've met, but also for the experience that was given to me by this school, because I realized that CAC has made me stronger as a person, that's for sure. And also I really appreciate those people and even teachers, because we still talk to each other, we mail each other on the birthdays and during some celebrations. And yeah, just really, I'm so happy because I got new friends and new family members, I would say, because some of them really became my close friends, my close circle. So yeah, thank you for the question.
Yeva, thank you so much. And now we're family forever. So all of that Total Care team will continue to stay in contact and we'll continue to be proud of your journey. Thank you so much. Justin, would you mind answering the same question? What did you, okay, I'll do it one more time just in case. What did you appreciate most about CIC during your time with us? And how has your perspective changed now that you have a little bit of distance from our school? Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. I appreciate the most about CIC is that CIC has an open culture and an environment that where everyone is respected. CIC often hosts events that helps students to make friends easily and shows respect for everyone. Let me give an example. Terry Fox Run would be an example for a CIC event. CIC hosts Terry Fox Run for over the past 40 years every year, and it is a fundraiser event for students to donate and have fun with their friends. And I was able to make friends there within participating in the event. During COVID, many students are concerned about activities and their residence life when coming to CIC. CIC hosts events for students who are in residence because they are restricted to leave the residence. So we can go to hikes, board game, maybe even cooking activities with safety protocols enforced. And this helps students to relieve stress, socializing with friends, etc. And the last point I'm going to point out is the trips to different landmarks in Ontario. This includes university trip, Wonderland, Niagara Falls, and all others trip. These all activities show how CIC is a very good school that allows students to participate in co-curricular activities other than academic, and it allows you to understand more about Canada culture and to meet new things of yourself. Now that I'll move to the second part of the question. Now that I've moved some distance from the school, my perspective is that I'm very proud of myself being able to graduate from high school with the total care team support. I believe that everyone in my grade should feel a sense of pride from graduating. I want to raise some example on how the total care team have supported me throughout my way. I want to thank you, Principal Mrs. Reed, for helping me arranging tutoring seasons and supporting me when I was struggling with my English 4U courses. And the next one I would like to thank is Miss Aaron, the tutoring teacher, who have helped me on my English 4U courses as well, and also all other English related assignments. I've learned that support is very important in this case. Just ask whenever you're needed, and they always will be here for you. Overall, just ask when you need it.
Justin, that is outstanding advice. One of my favorite memories of you is the many times you visited our front office when you were in your culinary classes and would send us the most amazing things that you and your classmates had made. Although I know you're going to do well at U of T, you also are a culinary genius. So I miss that about your time with us.
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. I missed it too.
You're welcome. Rama, what did you appreciate most about CIC in your time there, and how has your perspective changed now that you have a little bit more distance from our school classes, but not our building?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Reed, for the question. So what I do appreciate most about CAC is just being surrounded by diverse countries and cultures. Coming from Ghana, been in Ghana for 17 years, and coming to Canada and CAC, there was definitely a culture shock. I am a very shy person, so it was very difficult to speak up and make friends. But I realized that in classes, when I was there at that time in 2013, I was able to communicate and speak more easily with people in my class because we had activities that allowed us to introduce ourselves and just know where we're coming from. And that made it really easy. One of my classes that I would remember, Mr. Lawless, my music teacher, he made it really fun and he made it really easy to connect because he would put us in groups, in different diverse groups, and then we would sing together, and then we would speak, and then we would just have an exciting time together. And I am so thankful that I was part of this because I haven't been anywhere else with so much diversity and, you know, so much mixing of cultures and just getting to know one another. And just having a little distance from CAC, I'm able to see how I can communicate more easily and more freely with other people from other cultures where I wasn't in the past. And I believe I'm more confident now, just being part of CAC's community. I've been more confident and being more open to speaking with others. And I'm so glad to see Yeva and Justin here, you know, and because I do remember them so well. And I'm so glad that they've also taken this opportunity and they've taking their experiences from CIC and then they can add on to what they're going on to university. So this is, thank you, Mrs. Reed.
You're welcome. One of my favorite memories over the past 3.5 years is when Mr. Lawless and his students would join us in front of the academic office and sing and play their instruments. And I know that they oftentimes visited the admissions and liaison team as well. So his music and your voices brought joy to us every time he traveled around the school to share his gifts.
Thank you. And I remember I was definitely part of the singing. I was part of the students that would stand in front of the academic office and then sing. And we performed True Colors by Phil Collins, his version. Yes, and it was so beautiful. So thank you, CIC, and thank you, Mr. Lawless, for that. That was amazing.
And thank you for reminding me of those beautiful memories as well. I'm looking forward to many more of our students and their voices in our choir and instrumental band as well. Thank you for taking me back. I can see it in front of my office. Question 2, Justin, I'm going to start with you if that's okay. What, to the best of your knowledge, most differentiates Columbia International College from other schools?
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. CIC is different from other schools because of the huge amount of resources that are available to students. Let me give some examples. Liaison officer. Liaison officer is to help you to communicate with your parents. On top of that, you can also ask your liaison officer general inquiries about the school. For example, how fees should be paid, when are they due, or other stuff. Moving on is counselor. Counselor supports you whenever you are stressed. I have been experienced once before when I was in English for you classes. I was very stressed that I don't know where I can I can get help and how should I relieve my stress, and I can't think about anything because I was too worried about universities and things. And when I get to see my counselor, she gave me some advices and guided me through, and I find it really helpful at that point. Moving on is medical team. Medical team is basically available for students 24/7 to provide assistance whenever it is needed. Let me give an example. When I was in Inglewood building and my friend was playing basketball, his finger got injured and the medical team was able to be there and support his need. Security is there to support students' safety. When you hear of security, you might be thinking of scary or strong man. That's kind of stereotype. But here at CIC, security is a very friendly department that helps students. Not only for safety, but sometimes when you lose your student ID, bus passes, they are here to help you. You can contact them and they might be able to find it for you. And the last one, which is the most important one, is the academic support. Academic support is a place where students find their subject struggling and they can ask their teacher for help. And every teacher, I believe, in CIC have at least 1 hour of academic support every week. So if you are afraid to ask in front of the class, you're more than welcome to head to the academic support and ask questions there, because the students amount in there, it isn't that much, so you won't be embarrassing and you can ask more personal questions towards that subject. And therefore, CIC have all of those resources that you need, and you don't need to worry about your health and safety because they're all here for you. Thank you.
Justin, I think we should celebrate you for a minute. English for you is a difficult course for everybody, and you took advantage of all the supports. And when I saw your final mark, I might have been quietly dancing in my office. So congratulations, you persevered and you did it. And
Thank you,
we're
Mrs. Reed.
all proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Rema, what to the best of your knowledge best differentiates Columbia International College from other schools?
I would say how heavily diverse Columbia is. It makes me so happy just to see different cultures coming together, you know, and not only the students, the teachers, the staff, as Justin said, security, wellness, we're all from different countries and we're all coming together to work together. And it's been so awesome to be able to learn even some languages, speaking and then sometimes asking questions and like, oh, what does this mean? What are you saying? And it makes me so happy just to see people from different types of the world coming together. There's no greater joy than unity and diversity. And I believe there's so much power in that, having to see other people coming together to just for experiences and just to know more, be informed, and be informed about other cultures. So, for example, if you were to go anywhere, you have a little bit of information on what to do and how to do it, and also not to offend as well. It's very important also just to respect everyone around you. So that's been, yeah.
I continue to say I have learned more from my students and staff about different regions of the world, from their discussions, their language, all of what they do, more than I ever learned in a textbook. So I'm glad you said that. And I have to say, one of my favorite times was our regional dinners, where we were able to enjoy cuisine from all of the different parts of the world. And when I had no idea what I was eating, I could turn to any one of my students who, as you said, so beautifully took the time to help me to understand what I was eating, and the passion of each of our students sharing with us the food from their home country, their language, and all of their different cultural events. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Finally, with this question, Yeva, what, to the best of your knowledge, most differentiates Columbia International College from other schools?
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. Okay, actually, I love this question because I changed many schools in my life because I moved from Ukraine, and then I was studying for 1 year in Canada in another school, and then I realized that the CAC was the best one, to be honest. By attending different schools, I can definitely say that CAC is different from other schools because of its atmosphere. Because I'm a sensitive person and I'm emotional sometimes, so it's really important for me to which atmosphere you are studying and with who you are communicating, right? And it actually influences you as a person and your academic success as well. So the selection of teachers is just unique because all the teachers who taught me were just outstanding professionals, and most importantly, they were all humane and always willing to help, which I appreciated the most probably. Moreover, the school team is very well organized. So IT team, student development team. I remember the all events where we were running at that time, with the team, wellness team, guidance counselors, right? Also residents, cafeteria staffs, with liaison officers as well were very helpful. Every time something happened, we had the opportunity to ask, right, for the suggestion, for the advice, for help. And if you let me, I would like to actually mention one aspect that may help CAC future students, my application process to the universities, because I really remember that one. So at that time when I was stressed, right, and it sounded to me that like something very scary, it actually turned out that application process was the easiest thing and smooth once I started figuring each step out, right? Whenever I had any questions, I could ask my guidance counselors, or who were Miss Tara at that time and Miss Annie, and they would help me with all the questions, like literally with all of them, about deadlines, reference letters, and other details. They were ready to give suggestions, to provide a helpful information at that time about universities, and also workshops that CAC held were just as useful, and also everything was explained step by step. I remember I was attending all of them because I was interested at that time in that one. And I would like to mention that one of my faculty advisors was really helpful, Miss Kathy. Yeah, she helped me a lot with my application process to the UCLA in San Diego, California. So she assisted me within my application letter when I was asking her just for some corrections, maybe ideas. And yeah, I just had the support at each stage of my application process, especially during the COVID, which was really stressful, right? The CHC team arranged also interesting events for the students, such as Halloween, movie nights, on campus, some events as well. some walks around and tours around the residence back to the forest or parks, right? It was something interesting for us. So in my opinion, our experience as students was fun and entertaining at that time, and I'm sure that even now it's even more as I can see and hear from other students who are there right now. So yeah, I just think that also CIC's high reputation, good quality of education, which and close relationship with universities, which is so important, are very justified, and I think that helped me a lot to actually get where I am right now. So yeah.
So well said. I know I'm not supposed to answer the question, but I would always say the thing that most differentiates us from other schools is students. It's students like each and every one of you who have sacrificed so much to leave your home countries, to leave your families, to pursue a quality education. So I have to tell you, every day I walk into that building and see faces like yours, it reminds me how incredibly lucky we are to have students like you. And Yeva, when I see that smile, I remember you on the varsity cheerleading and dance team. And when you guys went to a local hockey arena to support a team that was in the playoffs. And I
Yeah.
have to tell you, I wasn't watching the hockey game. I was watching our students and your team with such pride. So know that the
Thank you.
community was able to see a little bit about what you're talking about as well. I hope that that will happen someday soon again.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Reed.
You're welcome. So we'll be on to our third question, and this time I'm going to start with Irama. If CIC were to be represented as a single person, what would its personality be like in only 3 words?
Okay, so I've thought very much about this. And in 3 words, if CIC was a single person, I describe personality as creative, driven, and enthusiastic. Yes.
I think this was the hardest question. It's so much easier to speak to all the amazing things, but I think that you've come up with 3 perfect words for our school community. Yeva, how about you? If CIC were to be represented as a single person, what would its personality be in only 3 words?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Reed. It's actually a great question. I was thinking about that one for so long because when I've got the questions, I was like, oh, probably it's the hardest one. But I came up with 3 of them, actually. I could definitely say that CAC being a person would be polite, which is true. Hardworking, because every time it's improving and improving, and getting there, and friendly, which is the most important thing, probably. So, yeah.
Well said. Justin, if CIC were to be represented as a single person, what 3 words did you come up with for our personality?
Actually, I would say a lot of words because CIC is like the best school I've ever attended. So it's really hard for me to pick, but I think 3 of them fits the best in this case, which is resourceful, supportive, and successful.
Well said. I thought I'd better do my homework if I'd asked my students and former students to do so. So I came up with caring, diverse, and respectful. So I think that we all came up with some different words, but at the heart of it is students feeling safe, cared for, and loved. And I think that that's the most important thing. Yeva, I'm going to go back to you for our 4th question. What one thing would you change about our school for the better if you had to choose something?
Oh, thank you. Okay. I like this question though, because I think something could be always something can be changed, right? Or something we can invent. So I can definitely say that CAC is doing great job. No doubts. Improving its educational quality, as I said, year by year. I could experience that one, so I know what I'm talking about. However, there is one thing that I would like to change if I had that chance. I would change the rules a little bit with the respect to school uniform. In my school days, for a while, we had that opportunity to have one day, casual day, and we could wear casual clothes, right? People and students were so excited about that one, and they really liked it, even though it was once a week, but everyone was really looking forward that day. because they felt comfortable. So thus, I would make students experience more fun, more exciting, and with providing them a chance to wear comfortable clothes, maybe twice a week, but arranging theme days, which means give them thematical days when they can choose, they can vote. Maybe on the Google Forms, and make theme days. Yeah, means that they could express themselves and feel creative, right? Twice a week, and maybe invent some costumes if they want, or just with a theme buy on the Amazon or create themselves. And I believe that CIC students would really appreciate that one. And while the COVID is going on, that could be maybe cheer them up a bit. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
I think what you have brought forward is more than fair. And my promise to you is to go back to the team on Monday and suggest that we look at allowing students to wear casual clothing. I'll start with once a week, and then maybe we'll move up. And I think your idea about theme clothing allows students to express their individuality and have a little bit of fun. So I appreciate that you've said that. And I've written it down, and I promise that I'll take it to the team on Monday, because I think what you've asked for is more than reasonable. And if you're the voice of students and we can bring a little bit of happiness during this time of COVID where things are a bit restricted, I think that's important for us to do. So
Thank you,
stay
Ms.
tuned for a message from me, and maybe the whole student population will thank you for this interview.
Oh, I will. I will wait.
Justin, what one thing would you change about our school for the better if you had to choose something?
Yes, I will change something that's more based on students instead of the school. So I will encourage the school to change, uh, to increase the opportunities for students to meet other students with different nationalities, because I noticed that students often spend time with students who are from the same nationality. So I've been forming friendship with students from another nationality through events. I think uh, the 30-minute famine, 30-hour famine, that's the one I formed friendship with a Vietnamese student. Um, Although that's not a cultural event, but hosting these type of events do actually help students to form friendship with other students. This student lived in Vietnam before attending CIC, and I learned about his culture, language, and food. An example of Vietnamese food that I love a lot after he introduced me is the Vietnamese soup, which is the pho. It's spelled in PHO. I also learned about some Vietnamese, and fortunately, he able to learn some Cantonese as well. So we exchanged some knowledge. And my most favorite part is CIC has the regional dinner event, I think, in the past. I've attended one in the Vietnamese one, and I think also the African one. I think both of them were excellent. I get to meet new friends, and the food over there was not bad actually. It was quite good, and yeah, meeting new friends over there, dinner and chilling and talking about school, talking about life. It's just wonderful. It's an amazing life. And CIC hosts event that encourage students to meet each other. For example, the school ran international cooking event during the COVID time. Um, I think this is such an amazing thing that CIC could host more or similar events with that, because you can share your own food to other people. And I think CIC have most of the resources when providing food and cooking materials. Um, like Pine Girls or Ainsleywood Building, they have wonderful materials there. And yeah, I signed up for those, and I find it really useful to explore different cultures and explore myself, what I like and what I don't. And it's really meaningful. Thank you.
Well said, Justin. I was able to go to one of those cooking events in Pine Girls during COVID. And it was interesting when I spoke to one of the students who was cooking, they said that the smell and all of the ingredients reminded them so much of home. And I think it was wonderful to have a little bit of home with mom and dad and family and friends in our new home at CIC. So I very much enjoyed that. And Justin, we listened to you and all of the students last year, and I'm delighted to tell you that this past week and all of next week, all we're doing in the afternoon is having what we're calling the Welcome Olympics. So we took all of our students, we placed them into 20 different teams. Students from all different backgrounds were together on one team, and they're competing in 12 different events throughout the next 2 weeks to do exactly what you and other students shared with us, and that was to make new friends. And it reminded me much of my university experience, which you two are going to be having very soon. All of a sudden, when you go to a new place and you're in your room, it's difficult to meet people. And my two best friends to this day were the person that lived across the hall from me in residence and the person that lived beside me, Edgar and Keisha. So hopefully, we're doing what we can based on feedback from each and every one of you. And I encourage you to follow the CIC Student Life Instagram to see some of the amazing events. And more importantly, as you remind us, Justin, the friendships and peer connections that our new students are making. So thank you for you, because I know you were one of those people, and your group of friends for sharing with us how important those events were in making you have new friends and experience new things. So I'm excited about it. I was watching some of the Welcome Olympics. They were making poutine and butter tarts down in 157, and Justin, yours would have been so much better.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now we are on to Arama. What one thing would you change about our school for the better if you had to choose something?
I think this has already been changed, but I would talk about it. Which is amazing. So in 2013, while I was at CAC, I started 2012 October, and I graduated in 2013. So while I was there, I was so used to eating the same kind of food because that was one of my favorites, and I wasn't really open to trying the other kinds of food. Coming back to CIC in 2019 as a staff, it's changed so much, just so much more variety, and it's so much more delicious than when as I remembered in 2013. So this has been so awesome. So at that time in 2013, that would have been something I would have wanted to be changed for the better. But now it has been changed and it suits my taste. So the food would have been one thing, and I'm so grateful for um, I would say Miss Joni and all the kitchen staff, everyone that's involved in making the food, for just hearing the students out, hearing the students' choices and actually implementing them. That's so awesome. And I've just seen, I remember one, no, was it earlier this week actually? They had jollof rice, which is a Western African food, and I was so happy because I'm like, the students that are just coming in, that just arrived in Canada, would see that and be like, they have this here. That's so exciting, that makes them really happy. So I'm very excited and thankful for the whole team for just listening to the students and doing this. And that shows how CAC really cares about their students. This is total care in action, showing that we hear the students, we hear you, and we do what you're asking us to do, and it's not extremely big. So it's something to bring you comfort and to remind you of home, and just to make sure that everyone is fine. So that would be something I would have liked to be changed in 2013, but now it's been good. So I'm really thankful to CIC. Thank you, Mrs. Reed.
You're welcome. You speak about Miss Joni, and I would absolutely agree. I'm also so impressed with Mr. Ray. I'll get an email from a student that says something about a meal that they were hopeful to have a different spice for. And you forward it to the assistant general manager. And one would think in a big corporation, well, he won't bother with that. The very next day, I saw that student sitting in Mr. Ray's office with our head chef, Chef Rod. I think listening to the students and understanding that what may seem very little is huge, and that both of you have talked about a little bit of comfort from home. So I'm pretty proud to work alongside the Total Care team who genuinely listen to students and try to implement change based on how we can make this the most caring school in the world. So I agree with you. So Justin, we've made our way to question number 5 and we're back to you. What would families find most surprising about Columbia International College?
Thank you. I can't represent my family, but I can share what they find the most surprising about CIC. My families find that the most surprising things are as follows. The first one is the school ensures students safe at all times. Um, my parents are very proud of how CIC manages the COVID-19 pandemic, how they restrict students from being in the residence and having all those safety protocols. They feel very safe about it. And to be honest, as a student, when I was back then, I feel very annoyed because there, whenever you can't get out of residence and can't go buy something yourself physically, it is very annoying. But when I think back now, I feel like it is a very sensible way and a very reasonable way just to keep everyone safe as a big community or a big family. So I actually agree with that. And next one is about vice principal and principal. They know students very well, unlike other school or most of the other school. Because in most other school, maybe in your home country, principal only often appears when you did something either really bad or you did something really good. For example, you're getting a scholarship or you're getting an award, then principal comes and congratulate you. But here in CIC, it's totally different. The principal and vice principal often participate in event. They treat you like they are your friend, your family, and you can always feel free to talk to them. And that's what me and my family feel. So yeah, that's really great. And the last one I would like to point out is about how the school is structured. It's very systematic. Help and support are always there, not for only for students and for parents as well. Because my parents have actually contacted the school a few times, and the response come back pretty fast from Columbia International College, and it's very responsive. They are able to help my parents to sort out issues. The accounting department, liaison officer, they are all very helpful and useful. I really thank them a lot on behalf of my family. Yeah, that's it.
Justin, your words mean more to me than you will ever know. I look back and I wonder what best qualified me to be a vice principal and principal. And I recognize that it was being a mom and having my own 3 children. And no matter what I do, every time I receive an email, a phone call, or am out in the hallways, I always ask myself, what would I want as a mom of twin girls and an 18-year-old boy? So although you had a wonderful experience and I'm grateful, it's me who is blessed beyond words to leave 3 children every morning in my home and come and have 800 new children that I can learn for and love. So, Justin, it means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Rama, I'm going to ask you the same question. What would families find most surprising about Columbia International College?
So I would say the total care system, I believe most parents hear about this, but actually total care being put in action is a different topic altogether. And I believe when parents see this, that CAC genuinely cares for their kids. The CAC is putting the kids first and making sure that their needs are met, that the parents can be at ease and very peaceful. And I believe strongly that this surprises them so much because you can always hear something, but you don't always see it. And then you hear the students talking about how CAC has helped me so much, how CAC has been there for me, how the staff, how the counselors, how I can easily get access to all these resources. And then you get to understand that truly there are people that are working for the better of the students and for the better of the school. And I am so grateful that the parents can see this and can see the difference in Justin and Yeva also, and how much, you know, they're going to also impact their university through the values and the experiences they've had from CIC and the whole total care system. And I know there's going to be a lot of testimonials, a lot of testimonies from the parents, and I know moving forward we will hear some testimonies from Justin and Yuba as well after they complete and they graduate. And yeah, I think that's the very surprising part, to see that total care works and is in action. Thank you.
Well said. I often say it's simple to put something down on paper. What's the most difficult is making sure that we pour our hearts every single day into what we've promised to parents and students. So thank you for that. Yeva, I'll close out this question with you. What do you think families would find most surprising about CIC?
Thank you, Ms. Reed. That question actually, I was asking my parents because yeah, I wanted to make sure that the answer is pretty clear and pure and honest. So personally, my parents, they answered that they were surprised by the number of clubs, first of all, and offered programs such as Duke of Ad, MUN, varsity teams, and cheerleading teams, because in my previous schools, I didn't have such opportunities. So they didn't expect that from CIC because they didn't know about CIC that much, right? So they were so surprised with that one. Also, my parents didn't expect the school to be able to provide such a diverse student experience, and they really appreciated that, because being their child, right, I had a great opportunity to develop as a person and to evolve my leadership skills, critical thinking skills, team working skills, being a part of the community, diverse community. And also, even when the COVID has started, they mentioned that one, the CIC's transition to online learning went so smoothly and so professionally, which is so important in the 12th grade when you are stressed about the graduation and your marks. It was so important for us, for me, and it didn't affect its students, I would say, which was so surprising because the quality of education didn't fall down. Teachers were so supportive during that times. Staffs were staying positive in the campus. I remember that one, keeping that nice and home atmosphere, and it was really like, that was natural, that was not fake. You could tell that, and therefore they were for us there. And when students even were missing their homes, and they could just talk to their staffs and campus and just ask how are they doing, how their families. So we were friends, we were like feeling like home. So yeah, that's the answer.
So well said. I oftentimes think about when this whole COVID piece started, and we were the principal and vice principal who canceled March break. And I think, Justin, you talked a little bit about it. Students were annoyed, and they had every right to be annoyed, because at that time, I don't think we all really understood how important the safety of our school was. And I continue to be so grateful to the pandemic planning committee led by Mr. Chan and our medical team that knew that tough decisions had to be made for the safety of our students. And 5 months later, those very students who were upset, and rightfully so, were able to come around and say, thank you. Thank you for keeping our community safe. So oftentimes, and I say this to my own 3 children, the adults in the building have to make difficult decisions. And as long as they're fair, they're equitable, and they're always based on the health and safety of students and staff, will never go wrong. So at the end of it all, I think our school looked pretty smart that we were doing things long before every other school. So thank you for reminding me of that, to each and every one of you. We're on to our final question. Time flies when you're spending time with people that make you happy. Arema, I'm going to start with you. And this is my favorite question of them all. What advice would you give to our new students just entering CIC?
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Reed, again for this question. I would say always, always, always ask questions. Always ask questions. I've learned that so much, and I can tell you how that's changed my life at CIC and at the university, and even at my job. So I was a very shy student at CIC. It was very difficult to speak up again, ask questions to my teachers. But then again, the teachers made it so easy, very friendly staff. So I took the opportunity, as Justin said, sometimes you're too shy to speak up in class, so you'd want to go for academic support later on. But what I did was, once everyone left the class and I had the opportunity to speak with my teacher, I'd go up to him. I don't know if any of you took Mr. Dezuta's class. He was actually my teacher. So I spoke with him and I told him I had these questions and he helped me through it. And that helped me a lot in my academics and my work and my homework. And also I took this to university, and you have a bigger lecture class. So this could be more intimidating than at CAC, right? But what I did was thank God that they had TAs, teaching assistants, that we could speak with. And I always made it a point to go and speak with them because I knew how important it was to graduate. I know, to make my parents proud, to make myself proud. So I made sure that if I had any questions, I go up. As shy as I was, as timid as I was, I made sure that I'm getting the information so I can be able to move forward and to graduate and to be successful. So I would say, for anyone that's coming in, just take a little bold step and ask questions to anyone. The staff are so nice, so accommodating, and they're there to help you. And that's my advice for anyone that's coming to CAC. Thank you, Mrs. Reed.
You're welcome. I think it's excellent advice. What about you, Yeva? What advice would you give to new students entering CIC?
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Yes, what Rama said is really, really important. I think so. And CIC actually showed me how to do that, because all of my teachers, they were stressing and point out that every teacher actually in the class, they were saying at the beginning of each semester, ask me questions because then it's going to be harder. So especially with the COVID, when I started with the online classes, first of all, ask questions. You don't understand, ask me, I will answer. So that one is one of the tips, yeah, I would say. And also stay yourself. I don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone, and do not hesitate to ask questions if something is not clear. So remember that school community, right, like there for students, so to make their experience more fun, more entertaining. So that's why I would say that just get involved and then take part in different activities, clubs, everything, programs. If that's, it's an opportunity, great opportunity to meet new people, to learn, actually get even to know some staffs. And also I know Miss Mia, we still talk to each other, right, from the cheerleading and from team varsity team, which is so nice, right, because you feel like home, and it gives you more confidence when you are there at school and you feel like you're home. And also, furthermore, remember that I would say to the students who are coming next years and next semesters, maybe, remember that they need to balance everything in their lives, which is so important. Try to balance studying and relaxing times, spend some time on doing homeworks, and then whenever they have free time, go relaxing, spend time with their friends, talk to their families, which is so important. I found out that one, I realized. And also just have a rest, to do not feel overwhelmed at the end of the day. And overall, enjoy the time at CAC, because I realized that after graduating, another point and aspect to mention, during the remote learning, the most significant thing is to stay motivated and keep in touch with your peers and teachers in order to complete all the assigned tasks and go through it successfully, to get there, even remotely, but successfully. Stay sociable, positive, focused, and keep working and improving just in that community that you are surrounded with. And yeah, at the last and in conclusion, I would say that personally I realized that CAC helped me to find new friends, as I mentioned before, where some of them became part of my life and stayed there. New skills that I helped me to achieve where I am now, and also taught me to be not afraid of new challenges, because to graduate was a challenge, to take English for You course challenge was as well, to get to go through the calculus was so hard for me as well, was a challenge, but I know that it's worth it, and CAC helped me with that one a lot. So yeah.
As always, Yeva, if we need advice for students, it always best comes for students. And honestly, My goodness, I could not have said that any better. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll wrap up with you, Justin. What advice would you give to students entering CIC?
Okay, thank you. I have 3 pieces of advice that I would give to new students. The first one is the time management is very important. It can really affect your academic and your performance and your physical health or mentally health. Make sure you have a schedule for yourself, sort things out, when to do homework, when to do assignments, and when to go fun and hang out with your friends. Because for me personally, I've experienced that from grade 10 to grade 11, which is 3U classes. I remember when I was grade 10, everything was easygoing. People often said that marks are not that important as in grade 11 and grade 12. And I started to relax myself and I think like, oh, it's not really that important, right? And when I moved into 3U courses, I treated the same because I forget how serious it is. And it turns out a mess because I made everything in the last minute and everything is a mess and I didn't get good grades back then, especially in English 3U classes, which helps you to build a good foundation in English for you, which I'm still regret of right now. So a good schedule is really important, trust me, even if you're in grade 10. Second one is don't need to worry about what the residents can provide you because they have them, all the necessary items that you need for daily use, they have them. For example, if you need toothbrush, toothpaste, pillow, blanket, all those necessary stuff, the residents are able to provide you. So you don't need to worry about what you need to bring here in Canada. Just bring what you need. And even if you forget it, don't worry about it. The school can help you with it. As I said earlier, the liaison is here for you. The residence team is here for you. So there will always be a solution. And the last one I'm going to say is always ask for support. I know I've mentioned this 10 times in this presentation, but this is really the key to success. And for me, I never knew that asking for support is really that important. After coming to CIC, I learned that how important it is to be successful if you ask for support, because nobody knows what you need. And if you don't tell the principal or vice principal or the school or your teacher, they never know what you don't understand or what you're struggling with. And when you ask for it, they can actually help you. Even the medical team, like my friend who got injured from playing basketball, the nurse was able to help him. If you don't walk to the nurse room or he don't ask for help, the nurse isn't going to come and help him because nobody knows what's happening with him. So overall, the 3 things, most importantly, is manage your time, have a schedule, know that you can be supported in the residence, you can get necessary things there, and ask for support. And that's it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Give yourself credit, Mr. Justin Ma. I know you said you regretted it, but what you also showed everybody is that hard work pays off. And instead of giving up, you persevered. You did exactly what you're telling new students to do. You asked for help and you worked incredibly hard. And I know what your 4U mark was, and it was very impressive. So hard work pays off, young man. I honestly am so incredibly proud of each and every one of your answers. And if people were paying attention, they would realize that each of you said the same thing in many beautiful ways. You told people to get out of their comfort zone and to get involved. You told new students to balance school and balance social, and to have a good plan for time management. And I agree with every one of you. The most important piece is to ask questions and ask for support. And as the new principal and the former very proud vice principal, I learned very quickly that nothing is simple. And if we make a decision or we move too quickly without asking questions, we may not do the best we can for students. So although you gave that advice to students, I would give that advice to all the staff and all professionals that are working in an educational institution. Pause, ask a few questions to students. When you go into the hallways and you truly listen to what it is that they want, then you're able to develop a safe system where students feel valued and loved. So I think I'll continue to ask good questions. I'll continue to ask for support from students and staff, and hopefully we can continue to be the most caring school in the world. So I have to tell you all, I was nervous about today because I feel so proud of our school, but spending the last hour with each and every one of you was the most delightful part of my weekend. I got to see two students who I'm so incredibly proud of, and I can't wait to follow your evolving journey as you move into U of T in the coming month. And Arema, every morning, I don't think you recognize how much your smile means to staff and students. No matter what type of day we may be having, the smile that everybody sees right now, it makes a difference. So thank you for being welcoming, and thank you for being a part of what these two recent grads talk about is total care. So thank you for your time today. Yeva, the
Thank
safest
you.
of journeys to U of T. Send
Thanks.
us all a quick note to let us know you're there. Justin, you know I'll be visiting. I'm so proud of you.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Reed.
You're welcome. And Arema, I'll see you Monday morning with that same incredible
Mrs.
smile.
Reed,
Thank you.
Have an
Ms. Reed.
awesome day and evening wherever you may be. So thank you for your time.